Galactic singing contest. The Earth could win by entering just one contestant, Patti LaBelle. Her voice is that startling, her tenacity is that strong. You see, for decades, success has toyed with LaBelle, while she kept singing and struggling and supporting others until suddenly, this year at the age of 48, she got her first Grammy, her own TV sitcom, and a year-long tour that was near capacity while others had trouble filling the seats. You might say the place she is standing tonight is the one described in this song, the one she's been singing at the end of every concert for 30 years. It's somewhere over the rainbow. But this isn't Kansas. And that's not Dorothy. It's Patti LaBelle, who is in fact more like the tornado, with that hair, that chutzpah, the high comedy.
If your clothes are too tight, honey, unbutton those suckers. If the skirts are too tight, unzip them. If your hair's bothering you, honey, take that sucker off and throw it on the floor. All right, because before it's over, I might do the same with mine. I just don't know.
On stage, anything goes. I don't care. I don't care if I make a fool of myself. It's fun.
Strike the pose, darling, take it.
Other stars get roses from their fans. LaBelle gets favorite foods: sardines, hot sauce, hot dogs, and dresses they create themselves for their full-figured pinup.
Oh my God!
Give me a safety pin.
Look at my boobs coming out.
Baby, this dress is about to cut me in half, let me tell you.
And there's also the voice.
You're the whisper of the summer breeze. You're the kiss that puts my soul at ease.
That 3.5 octave mountain of sound. She's one of the few performers ever who could put down the microphone and still be heard by everyone in the last row of a huge stadium.
Most people think that you're 48 and washed up. I seem to be getting stronger and younger.
Her day is as frenetic as a music video. She does an exhausting 100 shows a year. We followed her on a recent 60-city marathon tour.
Oh, Lord.
And sandwiched in between, filming 13 episodes of her new sitcom, not to mention a recording session at 3 in the morning.
Come on in, we got it. We got 8 tracks, 4 tracks.
No, we don't have it.
What do you want to do?
I gotta do that part again.
Miss LaBelle! What are you cooking? What are you doing?
I'm trying to burn down this kitchen.
On the road, LaBelle does everything but tuck her troops in bed. She demands a suite with a kitchen, bringing along a trunk full of spices, whipping up a nightly specialty for the whole crew. This is spaghetti with scampi.
I came from a cooking family. Everybody cooked. And, you know, I watched because I was a very homely child.
Homely?
Homely. So I stayed in the kitchen under my mother's apron watching her.
What do you want for your first meal in heaven?
God, my first meal in heaven. Isn't that sweet? Fried chicken. Fried chicken and potato salad. Do you like potato salad?
Yeah.
What do you want for your first meal in heaven?
Fresh tomatoes, right out of the garden. Just plain fresh tomatoes, lots of salt. Turnips and okra.
You like okra? Okra, corn, and tomato? Oh, Diane, I could cook for you any day.
She was born Patricia Holt and raised in a row house on Philadelphia's working-class West Side. Her father worked for the Pennsylvania Railroad. She was a member of the Beulah Baptist Church Choir when her teacher, Eileen Brown, auditioned her as a soloist in the talent show.
And she said very shyly, "I'd like to sing You'll Never Walk Alone." And I said, "Great." And she stepped back and blew us away.
At that moment, little Patricia Holt was buried. Within 6 months, Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells were born. Over the next 15 years, Patti's groups would have 2 big hits, I Sold My Heart to the Junk Man, then Lady Marmalade. LaBelle says she was so naive, she didn't even know those French lyrics were about hustling sex. But back home in Philadelphia, they could translate, and the song incurred the wrath of the Beulah Baptist Church, where LaBelle once sang in the choir.
That's what I was afraid. I was afraid of my church more so than anything. When I finally found out what it was too late to take it back.
Did anybody say anything to you about it?
Yes.
They did? At the church?
Yeah, but I said it's done. It doesn't change me. I'm no different. I mean, I'm not on the mattress.
To this day, the church hasn't forgiven her. Our request to talk to the pastor was turned down flat.
But no, I never feel sexy on stage or that I'm portraying sexual things or anything like that.
I need you right now. Baby, don't you say no. Because you look like you're ready to get it on.
And yet these are sexy concerts.
My show?
Yeah.
Honey, I'm just an earth mother.
Some mother. For 30 years, LaBelle had been pounding it out while Aretha, Gladys, a lot of others streaked by. She always seemed to hover just outside fame's door.
I always blamed it on not being my time.
For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Patti LaBelle.
Eventually, she became a solo act, but was known more for her wild hair than her singing. Though she became a kind of soul sister to a galaxy of other singers, like her former pianist. His name was Reginald Dwight, and he called her a few months after leaving the band.
So where are you? He said, I'm in Philadelphia. He said, I want you to come to my show tonight. So I said, your show? I said, who are you with? He said, I'm with myself. I said, well, what? What are you doing there? He said, I'm Elton John. I said, you're lying, honey. I said, no, you're not. I said, you made it before I did.
And then there was the teenage boy who used to hang around the Apollo Theater.
Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells used to play at the Apollo all the time, and we'd sneak in because we could get in for free to see them. And so we formed a fan club for them. When you're close, I can feel the power.
Even her fan club president made it to superstardom first, Luther Vandross.
The phony is the best thing now.
At one point, I was saying to myself, well, maybe I can't sing.
Through it all, LaBelle was shored up by her family. Then, a dozen years ago, her support system began to crumble. She nursed her mother through terminal heart disease, then her father through Alzheimer's, only to see all 3 of her sisters mowed down by colon, brain, then lung cancer, one after the other. 3 sisters to cancer in their 40s.
Yeah, they were 40, 43, 47, and 46, and I'm 48.
Do you think about it a lot?
I can go for months and not think about it. Because I really feel, strongly about myself, that I'm going to be here, that I'm the one to carry on. I have to stay here.
Going through it with each of them in succession, how did you do it?
I just did it, and after all of my sisters died, I went out to work the next week, and my last sister, who died, Jackie, there was a video to be done the same day that she was enough when she was here.
You're sure you didn't?
I'm sure I didn't. I know I didn't. Because my sister was dying, and she called me and asked me to make her egg and bacon sandwich, and her hospital was 5 minutes from my house, and I said, I'll do it later. She said, but I want it now. And I didn't know she was dying.
Before LaBelle got there, her sister Jackie died.
That's been bothering me every day because I just didn't make her that sandwich.
Jackie, I never heard you complain? Did you ever know you're my hero?
Just, you don't love the people that you're with when they're here. You realize when they're gone how much you should have showed them and hugged them and kissed them. We have to start giving to everyone, and especially your family. I mean, you have one family.
Today, LaBelle's family is her husband of 23 years, Armstead Edwards, and their 3 sons. Armstead doubles as her manager.
He comes to the concerts? He watches you, your husband?
My husband, I don't allow him to go in the audience, or my son, because if I see them, I totally close up. I do this thing at the very end of the show that I've been saying to myself for years that I was going to stop. I get down there with one of those real expensive gowns and I'm rolling, honey. And every time after the show he said, "Didn't you say you were going to stop that?" I said, "Yes, I did." He said, "Well, you're 48. I mean,
How often do you say, I can't keep this up, I gotta quit, I gotta stop this?
I say it, but I never mean it. It's like the other night, I'm just so exhausted. Baby, I was up the next day ready to roll on that floor again. I mean, it's just drama. You're never too tired to do this. I love it. And all the beat up that comes with it, I need that. You know, you have to put that little drama thing in there, but you know you're gonna do it. If you don't do it, there's somebody waiting in the wings to do it. And nobody's taking my place right now.
By the way, Patti LaBelle still makes her home in Philadelphia because she says Hollywood is confusing, and in this business you always have to remember who you really are.